What's up, everybody? It's Hawk, and welcome back to another episode of Being Black, the show where I talk about various topics through my personal lens of being black. And today I want to talk about what it's like being followed around a store. I've been followed around stores a couple of times in my lifetime. Honestly, probably more times than I realized. But the most recent one happened literally just the other day. So about 2 weeks ago, I stayed home from work. I was feeling really sick. We didn't have any medicine at home, so I mustered up the strength and I went to Walgreens to grab some medicine. So I leave the house and I'm in like 100% chill mode because I'm homesick from work. So I'm like, hoodie on, sweatpants. It's cold outside, but I just got socks and slides. I ain't even bother throwing shoes on. And I left my do-rag on. Now, I usually don't like going out the house without my do-rag. Let me rephrase. I don't like going into stores with my do-rag on. I'll drive around with my do-rag on until I get to my destination and take my do-rag off. But because I was only going to Walgreens, one, and two, I was sick, I was like, man, this do-rag staying on. I'll be in here for 5 seconds, and I'm going to go on a 5-minute drive back up the road to go home and get back in my bed. So I walk into the Walgreens looking for the cold and flu medicine. I'm walking up and down a couple of aisles. A worker comes up to me and says, hey, can I help you? I tell them what I'm looking for. They walk me over to that section, and then I notice as I'm looking for which one I want to get, they kind of just standing there with me while I, peruse which brand I'm gonna get, basically. They say that you need, and they say, oh, I can bring you up front. They walk me all the way to the front, and they personally can bring me out, and they told me to have a good day on my way. So I didn't really think much of it when I was in the store, but then when I get out to my car, and I'm thinking to myself, did they just like escort me out of the store, essentially? Like, to watch me the whole time I was there? And it really got me thinking when I got back in my car, and even later when I got back home that same day, that it almost doesn't really matter where I am or where I go, that unfortunately I'm always going to experience some form of racism, some form of prejudice. Because here I am, even in my hometown, a town that I've been in my whole life, a Walgreens that I've been to countless times, and a city that's mainly filled with minorities, and being walked around and escorted around a Walgreens like I'm gonna rob the place by another minority. Now, granted, this person wasn't black, but they were a minority. And I know I'm not out here saying what was me. Personally, I'm used to being followed around stores. Like I said, it's happened to me countless times before, and I'm sure it's going to continue to happen to me countless times. I feel like moments like these link back to this idea that black people don't belong in certain spaces, or they have to prove what they're doing here, why they belong here, that whatever they are doing here isn't, some mass act of terror. You hear these stories of having a picnic or a barbecue somewhere and someone calling the cops because they don't belong there, or black people hanging out in the pool in the community that they live in and have the cops called on them because they don't belong here, or they don't look like they belong here, and then having to prove that you live here to the police and the person who called the police on you. And when I think about it, I think it's stories like that is why I'm always aware that I'm the only black person in the room, because I'm trying to read the room to see if people are accepting or not accepting of my presence there. Because I know if people think I'm up to no good or I don't belong there, that thing's gonna go left for me really quickly. And sometimes that means I'd rather just remove myself from a situation entirely rather than trying to stick it out and see where that goes. But that's all I got for this episode. Thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. It's been me being black. Peace.